Human beings do many strange things on a daily basis. We jump out of airplanes, collect stamps, photograph our food, eat yogurts without a spoon, smell someone's hair on the bus, dress up like My Little Ponies and make out. You get the picture. But there are also many strange things the human body does automatically every single day, and you are probably doing some of them right now. Let's find out what your body's been getting up to in our list of 7 weird things you do without knowing. Number 7. Die. In the time it's taken to watch our introduction, a large part of you has actually died. Probably when you start picturing what bronies get up to in secret. Approximately 50 million cells in your body die every 30 seconds, which is about 50 to 70 billion cells every day. But don't worry, you've got plenty to spare. There are an estimated 37.2 trillion cells in the human body, and your cells will continue to die off and replace themselves until you're basically an entirely new person every 7 to 10 years. Now occasionally, some cells mutate instead of dying, and this is what causes cancer. But your body's got your back, because every day it kills huge numbers of cells that could potentially have turned cancerous. An example of this is when you get sunburned. Did you know that the pain you feel after spending too long in the sun is actually your cells realizing their DNA is damaged and committing suicide? That's a pretty nice thing to do. Thanks, buddy. You're alright. Number 6. Create searing acids. Every 24 hours, the cells along the inner wall of your stomach secrete 2 liters of acid strong enough to dissolve razor blades. But that doesn't mean you should swallow razor blades to test it, unless you're a member of ISIS. Then feel free to chow down a whole pack of Gillette for brunch. The acid found in your stomach is of the hydrochloric variety, and this substance is so corrosive it is often used to remove rust from steel. So why don't human beings dissolve from the inside out? Well, our stomach lining has a thick coating of mucus, and every 2 weeks the stomach gets a brand new coat to continue protecting you effectively from the searing acids contained inside your own body. Mucus, we salute you. Number 5. You go deaf and blind. According to Maria Chait, a cognitive neuroscientist at University College London, human beings often go temporarily deaf when focusing hard on something like a Sudoku puzzle or a guy on the subway with a really creepy smile. Thanks to a process called inattentional deafness, the brain's ability to process noises drops sharply whenever demanding tasks distract it. You also suffer inattentional blindness quite often every day, which is best demonstrated by this video of 3 basketball players wearing white shirts passing a ball. This clip went viral a few years ago because when the people were asked to count how many times the players passed the ball, inattentional blindness causes many of us to focus on one thing. And subsequently, we completely miss the woman in the gorilla suit who appears 30 seconds in. And for at least 40 minutes a day, you can add saccadic masking to this daily blindness tally. Saccadic masking is a temporary loss of vision humans suffer but don't notice whenever we move our eyes. Your brain blocks out the blurriness in between eye movements like an editor cutting together a movie, and the gaps you're losing add up to 5 hours a week or 10 days every year. Makes me wonder what strange sights are looking in my lifetime's deleted scenes. Number 4. You zone out. Depending upon how many illegal substances you've taken before watching this video, you may have zoned out several minutes ago. But don't feel bad, because losing concentration is one of the brain's most important creative processes. Neuroscientists have discovered that during a dull or familiar experience, the brain's attention wanders, which anyone who's listened to a Coldplay album could have told you for free. But these periods of cognitive unawareness are actually vital to creativity and imaginative thought. Research indicates that the amount humans zone out varies widely from person to person and from task to task. When a group of volunteers' brain activity was monitored, they spent between 13 and 30% of their days zoned out. And people observed driving down a highway sometimes drifted off mentally for as much as 70% of the journey. The random places our wandering minds take us are responsible for the spontaneous and strange connections our creative brains are capable of making. But next time you're hurling down the road at 80 miles per hour, maybe save that eureka moment for bedtime. Number 3. Edit the past. Humans experience memories like a movie playing back as if recorded at the time. But did you know your brain makes subtle changes in these memory movies at various points in your life? Every time you try to remember something, your nerve pathways fire in a different way than ever before. So just thinking of a memory distorts it slightly. Your brain then tries to fill in any gaps it has with new information gleaned from experiences you had later in life. Say, for example, you had a pool party 5 years ago with your friend Steve. The party was fun, you and Joe had a great time, but since then, Steve's become a bit of a douchebag. So your brain now remembers him as behaving more negatively at the party than he actually did. Your memory is also affected by the events which inspire you to try and remember them. If a friend were to ask you, quote, "Hey, remember how drunk we got at the pool party?" unquote, the word drunk might make your brain think you were more wasted than you actually were. So eventually, after you've remembered and distorted this event several times over, you'll end up mutating a nice memory of a summer's day into a drunken orgy where you punched Steve in the mouth, took a dump in the pool, and called his girlfriend a bitch, even if you were both stone cold sober and Steve's girlfriend wasn't even there. Number 2, you ask 3 questions. The human brain has evolved into one capable of rich and fascinating thoughts concerning logic, reasoning, and compassion. But the remnants of our primitive brain often overpower these abilities in the presence of certain objects of interest. There are 3 major questions the human brain wants to know over anything else when confronted with something. Can I eat it? Can I bang it? And will it kill me? If you're staring at Ronda Rousey covered in chocolate, the answer may be all 3. But don't worry, this reaction isn't your fault. Humans can't resist being distracted by things which will sustain their existence, and it is only the presence of a more developed mind which stops us from trying to eat, fight, or sleep with anything and everything. So the next time you watch the morons on Jersey Shore brawling and banging at a barbecue, now you know why. Number 1, Customised boob juice. This one's just for the ladies. But did you know that human breast milk actually changes its nutritional and antiviral makeup to suit the needs of the mother's baby? In the first few days, newborns will enjoy gulping down milk, which is almost transparent. This is because it is primarily made up of antibodies to boost the baby's immune system. And if the baby is premature, the milk is enhanced further to provide the greater protection an early child needs. Then, after getting into a feeding routine, the milk adapts depending upon how often the baby wants to eat. Whether your kid likes to suckle for a solid half an hour or they prefer a 10-second splash and dash, the mom's breasts will provide enough nutrients regardless of the duration of the feed. This is even true if mom is nursing 2 children at once, as each breast somehow figures out how much each individual baby needs based on the unique stimulation each kid produces whilst sucking. So guys, next time a lady catches you staring at her cans, just explain it's because you are fascinated by the prospect of your own personalized milkshake. Are you sat there right now wondering which parts of your body are dying? Or are you too busy concentrating on not going blind or deaf? Well, why don't you just calm down and watch this video on 7 weird rituals to distract you, even if you're still thinking about boobs.